I welcome you all to this case study analysis session. Being our departmental subject, it is being allotted with the one lecture, one session per week. Today we will discuss how we can approach with the case study methodology to solve any particular problem or given an activity, how we can convert that activity or incidents as such into a studyable or understandable case, because every case activity incidents can be considered as a case. Let me share the presentation with you. I hope the presentation is visible. Yes, when we are saying that we are applying the case study approach or any particular methodology. That means we are converting or we are actually considering a given activity, given a problem, or given an incidence as a case. When we are discussing any case, it is not expected by the case solution provider that it should be solved in toto. Means it may or may not be solved in toto, but it is obvious that to solve that given activity problem, we should apply the case study approach. Now, what do we mean by the case study analysis as such? Now, to do the any analysis, as we are under the management faculty, analysis or even some other management words are very much common to us. Analysis means what? We have to study the given situation, given problem, given activity, given particular incidents, and analyze that. Analyze means to see in such a way that whatever requirement of the stakeholders are there, first you have to identify that stakeholders requirement. Before that, you have to identify the stakeholders available or present in that particular activity, incidents, or case. Now, why I'm using all these words? Because all such a activity, incidents, problems, or these are be considered as a case only. And after stakeholder identification, we have to identify first what are the requirement of the stakeholders, and then how to provide solutions to that particular requirement. And for that purpose, we have to apply, we have to approach with the case study analysis technique. It is like a group discussion. Now, why it is like a group discussion? Because when we have to solve any particular problem, we are always discussing with each other. It is in a group or might be a group of group means not a major group. Even a two people can be termed as a group. More than one people, one person is a group. Okay, and that is the group discussion, and case study used to access the group performance skills of an individual. This is a very important statement, that group performance skill means how you are performing in a group. It is not a something that to be done individually. Now, at our academic cases, we are solving it in as at the individual level. Given a particular, now last time we have many of you have solved a trust and case study. Okay, then that is an individual case study. Okay, but when you are working at any work location, you have to always work in a team and solve particular problems. Then it is performed, it is analyzed that how you are performing as a group member. You might be a member, you may leading that group, but leader is also basically a group member. And that's why that performance skills as a group member are being analyzed or are being accessed. And secondly, the different skill set are tested as compared to the group discussion. Now, in the group discussion, it is just the discussion point. There is no as such implementation or application of that discussion point. Whereas under the case study analysis, we have to apply, we have to analyze that options, then apply that option, then after applying, see the pros and cons of that option, and doing that feasibility study. After all, we have to implement that all the actions or points and come up with a valuable outcome, valid outcome, or variable outcome. That is mean by the different skill sets are tested as compared to the group discussion. Means it is the next step of group discussion. You may term group discussion as a preliminary aspect, preliminary parameter to succeed under the case study analysis. Now, what are the skills that are been analyzed under the case study? So these are the skill sets which have been analyzed. Firstly, your analytical skill. Analytical, many of us know you have passed out your MCA CAT while getting enrolled for the MCA. You might have applied for the mini competitive exam. You are always giving some competitive or other exams wherein there are some questions related to the analytical skills. Means given a skill set, how you can analyze that particular situation or activity or a statement itself. A case need not be a very big paragraphic case. It might be any one or two statement that comprises given a case. Then, secondly, the quantitative skills means how good you are the mathematics or statistical approach, how you can apply that. Formulative approach आप कैसे apply करते हैं? These are the quantitative skill set. Then how flexible you are as a group member. Third one, flexibility not with terms of the solution. You need not to be flexible under to get the under the solution, but for to work as a team member, you have to be flexible because your outcome is going to be an input for the next team or next member out of your team, or anyone's outcome may be the input for your own activity. And that's why to have that to and fro activity to get gel up with your team, you have to be a flexible team member. Then next one is a leadership. How you lead your team. It is not necessary that given a formally announced member only should lead the team. Okay, you can also lead the team. Leading is doing your work efficiently and effectively. That is nothing but the meaning of leader. Okay, if you are doing your work, allotted work very efficiently and effectively, then it is said that you are leading your work. You should lead your work. Whatever allotted work is there under the case study, that should be led by you, and that is one of the skill access under the case study approach. The next one, how you present and communicate with the other members, or how you can present and communicate your outcome. Now, it is not a case that in a given case all are doing the same work. It is a modular approach is there in a case study methodology. Okay, given a big case or big problem, it is being distributed among the team member part wise. Then how you can present your own parts outcome जिसके ऊपर आपने काम किया है, then how you are going to present that particular solution, how you are communicating that particular solution to your team members, other team members. That is a communication skill set, skill and presentation skills. Okay, presentation skill may include your oral skill. Your presentation skill may include your ICT skill, that using some particular Canva like or PPT like or PDF, how you can present your outcome. Communicating may have your email skill, how you are jotting down your professional emails, how you are communicating with your superiors, your colleagues, and your whatever staff force you are working under. That's the communication skill. Next skill set which has been accessed is the behavioral and personality skills. How you behave as a team member. Now, as an individual, we are behaving very much freely. But when we are a part of any particular team, we have to obey the whatever the rules, norms, or whatever other skill sets are there. We have to obey that team's norms. Okay, if you are not obeying that team's norms, then obviously we are not following the behavioral pattern of your team. Okay, now currently we can take an example of current pandemic situation. Now under this pandemic situation, many behavioral problems are coming out. Okay, that may be under at your family front, on your you may be professional front, working location, or at your social media front. Many behavioral patterns are coming out. Okay, now how you are dealing with such a problem, that is a main issue, and that skill is being accessed with the case study approach. And that is how you're grooming your personality. That is a one part of that behavioral skill, that you're grooming your personality. That is one part of your personality development also, as a team member, as a human, how you're behaving. Next, that is a goal orientation. Now when we are forming in a team, it is to fulfill any particular objective you are forming your team. Okay, like our cricket team is there. The cricket team, there might be some are the spinners or some bowlers are there, batsmen are there, wicket keepers are there, and that togetherly working to win that particular match. That is a goal of that team, to win the that particular match. Now everyone is been allotted with the work that okay, that suppose the bowlers will complete their 10 overs quota with the minimum run and maximum wickets effectively with the minimum average like that, and batsman will come out to the bat to follow that score and get down that score in a limited given stipulated number of overs. That are the goals allotted to the individual, but collectively there is a what is the goal of that cricket team is that to win that match. Okay, and that is a orientation, means one cannot say okay, I will only play for myself hundreds or double hundred I will play, I will not play for the team. That is not a goal orientation, means every member should be oriented towards the team goal. That what is the team goal, every member of team should know the team's goal objective and should work in that direction only. That is the meaning of goal orientation. And to achieve that goal, how much confident you are, that is the last skill set. That to achieve that goal, how much confident you are. Confidence means what, you should be able to comply with the minimum or optimum requirement of that situation, optimum requirement of that particular activity, optimum requirement of that particular incidence. That may be any case. Again, we will take the cricket team example. Okay, now what is the confidence of any batsman, that he should go out and play at least positively to score some minimum number of runs. Okay, that is the confidence. If that batsman is not having that confidence that he can bat, then it is of no use. Or bowler is not having confidence or ability to bowl, then it is of no use. Okay, that is the optimum level. Then comes the expertise, that how fast you score, how many sixes or boundaries you score, how you can defend yourself given a difficult ball situation is there, or for the bowler how much less a number of runs you will give. These are the expertise of that bowlers. But the confidence or minimum bare minimum requirement is to bat or is to ball, or in case of a team or a fielder is to field. These are the skill set with respect to the any particular case study approach or a methodology, that are the analytical, quantitative, flexibility, leadership, presentation and communication, behavioral and personality development issues, goal orientation, and confidence. We will move further. Now, to achieve that given goal objective, we should have an action plan ready. Okay, and that action plan we can define with the one acronym called as a PACER. 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 The first P stands for the problem definition. We should be able to define the problem, for which purpose we are coming together as a team, for which purpose we are solving that case. That problem should be definable. We should be able to define that problem. We should be able to identify that problem first, then only we can define that problem. Then to solve that problem, next, that is a alternative generation. To solve that problem, we should be able to generate as a team member, as a case study solution provider, to generate the number of alternatives. That okay, these are the number of alternatives to solve the given problem. As like suppose your team, cricket team, and you have to follow the 250 runs in a given 40 overs, suppose, or 50 overs. Then how to follow? Number of alternatives can be there. Okay, follow it very fastly and comply with the score within 20 overs only. Or you may say that keep the wickets in hand and go up to the last over and follow that score and come up with the winner. That is a number of alternatives can be there to follow the 250 runs. Then the next one, that is a C, that the criteria for evaluation, means how you will be performed, how your performance will be evaluated. Again, take the example of cricket, that to score the 250 runs, if suppose you will say okay, I will score it in a 60 overs, but the match is of the 50 overs only, then you have to comply that 250 runs within the number of given limited overs only. You cannot exceed that number of overs. Or you cannot say okay, I will play the 15 players, only 11 players are allowed. These are the criteria for the case study. You can Thus, define the domain of your case study. Domain means what? The area of concern. That is nothing but the domain. And under that domain, what are the criteria? You have to fulfill that criteria as a case study solution provider, and accordingly, you will be evaluated. Sorry. The next, that is a, after C there is a evaluation again, evaluation of alternative. Okay, that is E, capital E is there. Evaluation of alternative means out of given options, which option is a valid one, which option can be implementable one. Okay, now many options can be there to solve the given problem, but out of that, which one is a valid, which one is a implementable one, considering all the criteria to be followed, all the limitations imposed, which the alternative will give us the evaluation, that is a E, evaluation of alternative. And lastly, out of that, which are means which recommendation we will pass, means given all that evaluations, which is recommended alternative to implement, which is a recommended alternative to implement. That is the PACER, that is a PACER action plan to solve any particular case study. We will move further. Now, while doing analysis of case study, while approaching or implementing the case study approach and applying the case study methodology, which are the things to do? Okay, we will also see which are the things not to do later on. First, we will see which are the things to do, means which are the things to be taken care in principle. First, we have to analyze and think. Given a problem, we have to analyze that problem, analyze that situation, analyze that case, and think upon the number of alternatives, implementable alternatives, evaluation oriented alternatives, and thus we have to weigh the pros and cons of the choices. Alternative means what? Choices available with you. Okay, then we have to see which, how many positives are there, how many negatives are there. Given a choice, for per choice, every choice or alternative, there might be some pros, means the positive points, and there might be some cons, means the negative points. Then we have to weigh upon that, which we have to find out the equilibrium of that. Okay, and accordingly we can move further and break down the given complex problem into the number of small listen and attend, so number of small points or number of small subsets. Okay, we can break down that complex problem into the you can say the sub problems, and then we can have the that small problem, listen attentively and solve that small problems or subsets of that problem at a time to give us a valid alternatives and solution. And then we can summarize the analysis periodically, we can summarize the sub outcomes of that sub problems to get the main problems outcome. And while doing all this procedure, we have to be the consistent. That is the last point, means we have to do it all in a consistent way, in a contiguous way, in a continuous way. Apply the same methodology again and again. That is a consistency. Apply the all norms again and again uniformly. You cannot, suppose given a problem, we are so dividing that problem into the three parts A, B, C. Number of norms or number of solution, number of whatever alternatives are there for A, what are the limitations are there for A, that should be same for the B and C also. That is a consistency, means limitations or domain area of concern should be the same for A, B and C all. Then it will be said as a consistent. And then through that consistent sub solutions of A, B and C respectively, we can merge them together of all three and come up with the recommended solution, recommended alternative for the main problems. These are the some things to do while approaching or while doing or implementing any case study methodology. Now, what are the things that we should not do as a case study solution provider? These are the things that we should not do to the case study solution provider. The very first, that jump to the conclusion in the beginning, means we are not patient enough. Okay, we don't have patience. That should not be the case. We have to follow the whatever the things are there and accordingly come out with the conclusion. We have to follow the SOP. Okay, SOP of solution of the case. We have to follow that channel, and then at last we will come up with the solution or conclusion. Okay, we should not jump to the conclusion in the beginning. Then we should not worry about the speaking all time. Means we should not worry that how we can communicate the solutions to the stakeholders. First, we have to come up with the solution. Communication of the solution can be taken care later. Okay, we should not worry about that. Third, that is we should not worry about not having specific industry knowledge. Many times there is a one excuse freshers or newcomers are giving in at any particular work location that we don't have any knowledge about that, experience about, requisite experience of that analysis or incidents, etc. That should not be the case. Okay, we should not worry about how much experience or knowledge we are having. We have to follow that SOP. Whatever the norms are there, domains are there, area of concerns are there, evaluation patterns are there. We have to just follow them as a case study approach, and ultimately we will come up with the solution. And lastly, that what we have discussed at the very first within first 5 minutes, that we should not worry about the complete solution of the given case. That worry if you are not able to completely solve the case. Now, might be there are some cases or some situations, problems are there that you may be not able to solve them in a toto. Okay, 10% you are not able to solve them. But then also you should not worry about that. You have to follow all the whatever the SOPs are there and come up with the at least optimum solution. Okay, then that solution can be converted, that way out can be converted into the final solution by the next team. Okay, that is the meaning of not to worry about having the complete solution of the given case. Now, on which options we should brainstorm while approaching or applying the case study methodology. The first option, that determine the key issues or problem that we have discussed, that identify the entities, identify the problem search, problem sets, then define the problem, that is the determining key issues or problems. Second, determine the cause of the problem, means why that problem is there. We have to first identify, define the problem, and then see that why that problem is occurring. Then only we can come up with the solution for that problem. Unless until we are not able to identify the cause behind that problem, we will not be able to give the solution for that problem. That is very true statement. Okay, for that purpose we have to first find out the root cause of that problem. Like your family doctor or any doctor is diagnosing your disease, that why that disease is occurring, then only they will be able to give the treatment for that disease. Means then only they will be able to provide a solution for that. The same methodology is here also under the case study analysis, that you should be able to find out the cause of that problem. And third, we should be able to prioritize the problems. Now there might be n number of problems given a case. Out of that, we cannot solve all problem at a time. In such a situation, we should be able to prioritize the number of problems. Means which problem have to be solved very first. That priority has to be defined subject to the requirement of the stakeholder, subject to the domain of that case, means the area of concern of that case, subject to the norms or limitations on that case. Depending on all such parameters, we should be able to prioritize the problems. Which we means what? We means the case study solution provider, the analyst working on the case study. That is the meaning of we. Next, we should be able to evaluate the option. Now, up to third point, we are dealing with the problem. Now, we are starting dealing with the options, that which are the options to solve that problem. How many options are there? How we can approach for that option? That is the meaning of evaluate the option. Then, after evaluating all such available options, there might be the n number of options. We should be able, that is the next point, we should be able to select the optimum solution out of that given n options. There will be the only one optimum solution at a time. Okay, there cannot be number of optimum solutions for any case. Okay, there will be only one. We should be able to select that one optimum solution. It is like a selecting, suppose you wish to go to the, suppose from Nasik to the Bangalore, then there are number of options are there. You may go by the roadways, you may go by the, suppose the railways, or you may opt to go by the airways. Then which one optimum solution to select the optimum solution? That optimum solution may depend on the number of parameters, that how much time you have to reach to the Bangalore, कितने time में आपको Bangalore में पहुंचना है. Suppose you have to reach there on urgent basis within 12 hours only, then you have to opt for the airways only. Okay, you cannot opt for the roadways or railways. Within 12 hours अगर आपको नासिक to Bangalore पहुंचना है, then you should opt for the airways that go to the Mumbai, take the flight to the Mumbai Bangalore and reach to the Bangalore within 8 hours only. Okay, if suppose the money is a parameter or fare is a parameter, then you may approach through the roadways or railways. That time is not a parameter, we are flexible, having the flexible time. Then money is parameter or fare is a parameter, then you may take the solution, optimum solution, roadways or railways. If suppose you are having your own vehicle, then you may opt to go by the roadways only, because there will be the then the only surcharge or expenditure on the fare. Okay, that is the meaning of selecting optimum solution. Then describe how to implement the solution, means that is what, जैसे हम मैंने आपको अभी बताया, आपको डिस्क्राइब किया कि how to select a particular solution, that is a description of solution. Okay, to implement that solution you have to describe that to the stakeholder, that जो भी stakeholder है उनको आपको describe करना पड़ेगा as a system analyst. And the last, remember the structure of thoughts is as important as the final result. Means, as we are always saying that it is not the enjoyment to reach the destination, it is an enjoyment during the journey also. Means the same thing is true here, कि आप कैसे वहां पे थॉट आउट करते हैं, कैसे थॉट प्रोसीजर वहां पे अप्लाई करते हैं, इट इज ऑल्सो एज मच एज इम्पोर्टेंट as that of the final result of the given case. That is the brainstorming options while applying any case study methodology for the any particular problem set. That is the case study approach. That is nothing but the today's session, that how we can apply the case study analysis techniques. That is a case study approach or methodology. We have discussed what do you mean by the case, what do you mean by the analysis of the case study, then skill sets which have been accessed while applying or having the case study approach or methodology. Then what do you mean by the action plan to solve that case study with the acronym PACER, that is a PACER problem, problem definition, alternative generation, evaluation criteria, evaluation of alternatives, and recommendation, that is a pacer. Then which are the things to take care while approaching or analyzing any case study methodology, and accordingly which are the things not to do while approaching for the case study methodology. Then which are the options for the brainstorming while the case study is there. This is something with respect to the case study approach. Next session of case study, before 2 or 3 days, by next Monday, I am going to give you one case study or one situation as such, and you have to present it through the video. You have to present the solution of that case study through the video. I will post this at our Google Classroom also, and that video should be of the 1 or 2 minutes or maximum 3 minutes, and you have to describe the solution for that case study. Okay, that is will be the next case study session hour for the case study analysis subject. With this, I conclude our today's session of case study analysis over here. Thank you for your patience listening.